We'll have to check to see if, I don't know, another time or date is better with people. Maybe Monday morning isn't the best.
It might not. We definitely have noticed, I think, a little drop in attendance the past few months. So if there is a time that works better for people. Do you have any input on that, Mary, for timing of the meeting? Or-
Yeah, I'm just looking at that. I've got standing meetings on Wednesday mornings. And so that wouldn't be good for me. But that's really the only day that would be super tough. Let me just look at my calendar. So on Wednesdays. Yeah. I've got a standing 9:30, 10, and 11, but any other day.
Well, maybe we'll try Monday, but a little later. I don't know, but you've got your work day, don't you?
I do, but as long as I don't have a meeting immediately following, I could, come and actually be present in the room rather than have to do Zoom. This is just this works, but it's fine. It's just hard for me to get there in person because I have a hard stop. I have another meeting right at 10.
Okay, all right, well, we'll check with others too and
Yeah,
work on that.
I could send out like a doodle poll with
Yeah.
dates and times that people could answer, and then we could see what the majority is.
Sounds good.
Okay.
This is the only meeting that makes me feel lonely. Usually all my work meetings, everybody's on Zoom.
Oh, yeah. So,
I used to Zoom for Rotary because that's every week and some weeks I can't make it, so they have the Zoom.
Nice.
Very convenient,
Then you don't get
Yes.
fined for not showing up, right?
right?
We did the events committee on Zoom for a long time. I really liked it.
You didn't like it?
it's hard.
I like personal.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's convenient, it works.
So do we accept minutes? I mean, your minutes from last meeting are great. And
I don't generally do like a formal accepting of the minutes, because I technically call them the meeting
That's
report.
true.
So that they're not officially, I would hate to stick us into any type of a situation where we're required to do something. So I generally just report on them, but if you ever have a discrepancy or want to see something reported differently, I can always edit, so. We can make adjustments, just reply.
So the cleanup on the 11th never happened, right?
Did not.
Yeah, because of the weather.
Yeah, it was cold and rainy that day.
Yeah,
It was. it can be-
well, and then the next weekend, it was like 20 degrees, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess our cleanup should wait till spring.
I think at this
I
point.
think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think we went that day on the 11th. He did.
Yeah.
I do think he went and did a little bit in the morning, but he couldn't stay long.
Yeah. Wet.
Oh, yeah, that cold rain. So,
Yeah.
Is that when I had COVID, I think?
Yeah, you emailed me and said you weren't gonna be
I had
there.
COVID for 10 days.
You did.
Aw.
Yeah, I had, we
Yeah,
had,
all the
well, we
shots
got it,
and
we had a
everything else.
couple
I've never been
weeks.
so sick in my life.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I don't know.
We had it
We
for a
had-
couple weeks,
Did you?
solid, yeah.
I mean, when I tell people I have COVID, I'm amazed at how many people have had it, it's really out there.
Yeah, it is. yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I think we wait until the end of March or 1st of April, probably when it's really halfway
Yeah.
decent. March, it can be still ugly.
When are you coming back?
I'm coming back in March.
Oh, there you go. Okay, we'll wait till you're back.
I'll be back by 10th or 11th, depends on baseball.
Right, of course.
That's the
Of course,
important part.
season, right?
Are you a snowbird, Dennis? Do you go away in the winter? Do you go away in the winters? Are you a snowbird?
In 3 weeks.
Oh, nice. Have
January,
fun.
February, and about 10 days in March.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, tell me.
So the first item they put on the agenda was the row signs. Did you see that, Mary? Yeah.
Yep.
The costs, well, you could go over that. We're-
Yeah, sure, I can go over that. Richard came in a couple weeks ago and he had brought this information because they have finished mapping Academy Cemetery with the GPS and the locations. And they're working on, he and his wife are going to put together a brochure like we did for Hun Cemetery with a map of Academy. And they would like to be able to identify each row with a label, a letter name. And they felt it would be really helpful for visitors if there were signs at the cemetery indicating each row. So what he's proposed are signs that are 6 by 12 inches. They're brown. So if you're looking at the front page of the Smart Sign kind of website, it'd be the one on the left that the gentleman's holding, not the larger one on the right. It's about maybe the size of like a nameplate kind of would be in front, or a license plate, I'd say. And there is a discount for quantity, but he had not priced that out for us. He did it based on the individually priced signs, which totaled $1,885. In that case, we would need to order 32, so we may be able to get a quantity discount, but it would be no more than the quote of the individually priced signs, the 1,800. So because it is spending some money and the history team doesn't have a very large budget, they wondered if the cemetery committee would be interested in purchasing these row signs.
So does this include those attachment kits per sign?
It does look that way, yeah. He's got chain link fence attachment
think.
kit. Total per sign would be $58.93. So.
Where else would they put it? Have to go along the side.
Yeah, it's gotta go on the chain link fence along the side at Academy, that is the dead end, not the 21, because that would be the rows. So it'd be that dead end sign. Or I guess they could put it on the other side by the trees. I don't know if we. have
Nobody
a-
would see it.
Yeah,
That's pretty fun.
yeah, I think it'd be better.
Yeah, I mean, if we have the money, I say let's go. for it.
Yeah, we definitely have the
Yep.
money in our budget.
Mhm.
We could maybe spend, no more than $2,000 just to give us a little wiggle room in case there's shipping charges. I'm not sure about that, but hopefully, we can get a quantity discount as well.
We don't know where this company's from. do we?
It's online, so I'm not sure where they would
I
ship
mean, I don't
from.
know how, how much
Yeah.
shipping.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
does that seem like a good idea?
Yeah, I mean, at 58.93 a sign times 32, you said, so that's 1885.76 before shipping and tax. So yeah, I think $2,000 would be just about right. Yeah.
So we're just talking about the roads,
Correct.
not the others.
Correct, yeah. The idea would be that Richard explained is that they'll label the rows on the brochure with the letter labels, and then each grave site would be counted with a number. So the visitor would only have to identify the number. They wouldn't have to figure out which row and which number. They would be able to say, okay, this is the row, and then count to find the right number. So just giving them that one more step to make it a little
Yeah.
more easy to identify.
I think it's a good idea.
Yep,
Great. Okay.
Let's do it.
do it.
perfect.
There you go. We spent some money.
Unanimous.
Projects and events for next year. Just looking
Well,
back
certainly
on
cleaning Sand Hill.
Sand Hill cleanup.
What have we got left to do at Sand Hill?
Got the hedgerow on both sides.
Oh,
Clean out.
Again, we would do what we did at Hun and drag it to the road and then
Right.
pick it up.
You pick it up.
Yes, I did go by and the Parks Department was able to do some fall cleanup at the hedgerow.
Good.
It made a
So-
really big difference already. So I think if in the spring, we could maybe help them get right on that. I
Wow.
think it'd be well suited for moving into the summer in really good condition.
Yeah.
Rather than waiting till the fall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
So that would definitely be kind of a spring item then, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I
okay.
would
And
guess
Okay.
spring.
I don't know what kind of budget, I forgot what we had in budget for 2023, but that's okay. I like to see us look into doing something at Sand Hill or someplace else like Ray had done it on with the fence and everything else. Originally, you know, when we took over the cemeteries, Sand Hill did have a fence out front.
Yeah,
And it had rotted and stuff, and my staff and I took it down. But it looked really nice when they had the,
Mhm.
but I like to have us look.
So
into
like a
some-
split rail?
Yeah, it was,
The
it was,
Anders did a small section at Sand Hill when we went by this summer, right? Wasn't there a small section of it didn't go the whole length of the cemetery. But I thought that the Anders the family there had done a small,
the Andrews.
had done a small piece.
I don't know.
yeah, the last time I was there wasn't.
Nothing at all. There was nothing at all.
No, because.
What did they
there
do?
was a
Did they do
photo-
the sign maybe? Was it
Yeah, they
the
did the sign. They made
Okay,
the
that's
sign.
what I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don and Bill, we did the signs.
Mhm.
I pulled up the budget for 23 over here. If you look. That's where my mouse went. Where is it? Here it is. There's my mouse. Okay. So I did put in a split rail fence line item
Oh, okay.
at 1,250. Thinking maybe Cooley or New Michigan, just because they're a little
They're
bit
both
smaller.
Right,
So that would give us the opportunity to figure out like if we can get volunteers to install it, if we want to install it. And I recall some conversation at Sand Hill about, you know, the Andrews family and wanting to coordinate, make sure everyone was in agreement with what we did there. So, I mean, we can certainly, doesn't tie us to having to be there. It just ties us to the amount. So.
and you know, like
we can
Ray
price it.
got a Boy Scout to do
Exactly.
the one at Hunt for
Right.
his Eagle Scout project, maybe we could get a scout involved. Do you remember how much the lumber cost for Hunt?
I don't.
I had
I got
gone-
it.
I had gone on Lowe's and I priced it
I mean,
out.
they gave us a good price.
Yeah, based on like full pricing. So the 1250 was just material. Hoping to
Okay.
just give us kind of a number at the wall to go.
'Cause I know I had talked to the manager about it and he basically gave me material to cost.
Sure, that's awesome.
So-
Oh, that'd be
So,
great.
yeah, I think, you know, that needs to be one of our projects, whether it's Sand Hill or these two or whatever, but I just think
Yeah.
Hunt looks so nice now, you know. it's just-
Especially from here.
Yeah, I agree.
It's true.
So we'll definitely be north side.
I've never put up a split rail fence before. Are they labor intensive? Is that something we could theoretically do
It's-
ourselves?
It's a post, really.
Okay,
Yeah, just a post hole. And we had someone come and
Yeah.
dig the holes for us.
Mhm.
oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I'm not sure if the town has a post hole digger.
It seems like they've
Yes.
gotten
Hold on
one
to
since.
one, I do think,
If they didn't, haven't lost it.
yeah, that's usually a two-person job.
Like, or like a little tractor with a post hole.
Mhm.
And the other cemeteries would be a lot smaller than
Longer.
Hunt was anyways.
Right.
But you know, we can determine in 2023 exactly where we want to go.
Maybe we'll reconsider which one after the spring cleanup,
Yeah, yeah,
because if it looks
Yeah.
like we can work with the Andrews or
Right.
just road frontage, right? Are you making it the very least?
right, those two small ones on the north side there do not have, right near you, Mary, don't have any really indication of them being closed off or fenced around up in front.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of floating.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
And so maybe we look at that as like a later spring or early summer project.
Yeah.
We'll do the cleanup in the spring and then make that determination and hope to do that,
Yeah.
you know, while the ground's still wet before everything dries out in August.
Do they just set those in dirt or concrete?
Is there what?
The post, is that set in concrete,
Just-
dry
no.
concrete?
No,
No?
I think
No.
I
Oh, we
think
don't put them in any.
it depends on the person. I've heard both.
Yeah,
yeah.
I've
mean,
heard
it's-
both, but if you
Well,
get your
it's been,
post hole low
I
enough that it's
saw,
below the frost line, you don't have to concrete it, was my understanding.
and if it's
depends on the
treated,
soil too.
Right, exactly, too. If it's really loose, you might want to secure it.
okay. Were we going to hire to clean headstones again? Is that
Yeah, we
on there?
have 5,000 for Ellison Conservation to have Peter go through the headstones. So that will be something we would do with him probably February or March. Give him an idea of how many. For the most part, he usually would work with a historian to go through the cemetery and identify. So this would be the first year if we wanted to set up a time as a group to have Peter meet with us. Or if we wanted to go around and identify, or if we want to keep it the same way with Leaf being that point of contact, it's really up to us for this year, what we want to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it might be a lot to have everybody.
I think leave,
Yeah,
It might be kind of nice to have Peter come to one of our meetings,
sure.
give us kind of an update as to what he's done over the years, where he's done them. And get some ideas to what he thinks should be the next step.
that's
Yeah,
true.
I really trust him a lot. He
He's a
knows
good
our
guy.
cemeteries very well with the time he's spent there and the
That's why
years
he's
he's
still
been with
there here.
us. Yeah, exactly. You know, that's why, right, exactly why we continue to use him. So I agree, Dennis. I would love to hear his input.
Right, yeah. Now, up here it says burial cost academy, you still could be
That's
some burial at Sand Hill
Yeah.
too, right? So that's
Yeah.
the same price and everything, $1,000 or whatever.
Yes, that, it is about $500 or so if we needed to rent equipment or prepare for a burial. So that's not a line item the committee can spend. That generally goes to the town clerk's office if someone needs to have a burial. But they've already been sold plots. It's just that if the timing arises that someone who owns a plot.
I kind of forget, how did we do time bank?
They still have an association, so all their
So we
burials go
just give
through.
them
Yep,
a sum of dollars.
correct, yep. I think that is
5,000.
5,000.
That's what it used to be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Which probably doesn't go quite as far as it used to. And we generally will approve that agreement. The agreement is set up to automatically renew each year as long as the board and their association are comfortable with that. But we could look at maybe for 24, adjusting it a little bit, just because I don't think it goes as far as it used to.
Cost of living, kind of,
Exactly, you know, if they usually use the money
a
for
cost of
landscape.
dying, I should say.
I know, right? I know. And like they hire someone who will come mow for them, and I mean, gas has gone up, equipment's
Mhm.
gone up, so we might, maybe we want to touch base with them. I think it'd be great to do a meeting next year and invite them to come, or we meet them down at Time Bank. They're wonderful people. Sharon Cook is the president. John
she's,
Mullins is the
she's a
treasurer.
classmate of mine.
They're wonderful people, yeah. It might be nice to meet. with
Well, it
them.
would be, at least get face to face and get to know them,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Now, help me remember the lady that came last time.
Arlene Reeves.
Oh,
what
Arlene.
happened after our discussion, or what might happen?
At this point, she said that her family was now debating whether or not they actually wanted that repaired stone to go in Hunt Cemetery. Because initially that was why we invited her, because she reached out to Sarah Linda and said, I want to quote, bury a stone, and we wanted to know more about that. So she came last
Bury the
meeting.
stone?
Yeah, that's what it said. So it was, we wanted to kind of get more information. But she said, well, now my family is not sure that's what they want. So
Right.
we had said, well, if you do decide to move that direction,
So
please
that's,
reach back out to us.
that was informational. Kind of.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, I think so. And she's a wealth of information, definitely a great person to have in her network. She had so much, and then she connects with the DAR, which could also help us investigate different funding opportunities or grants if we wanted to do a larger, more expensive project.
So one of the very first meetings we had, the Yates County people were here. Was that?
Yes.
They just came to,
I think she was looking just to connect with people who
Yeah.
had similar, desires and like, hey, these people actually care about this kind of stuff. And Ellen Churko. She's the town of Jerusalem historian, and that
Oh,
was the
okay.
same meeting when we did have Sharon Hook. She did attend that
yes,
meeting.
yes. It was quite a
But that was
group.
way back in June, yeah. That was when we asked the history team to come and present to us on the
That
stuff
was-
they've done.
We were pretty brand new then too.
We were very new with that, yeah. I think that might have been our second meeting. I
I
have
know, I
May
know.
and then I
Yeah,
have
it was
June. Yeah,
Well, I don't know what group or what county or what association, but it'd be nice just to commiserate or meet or join or invite during the year, just, what their practices are. And
yeah.
I don't know who, if I think of someone or run into an idea, we can work on that. I know Mr. Ellison does the hard work on those stones, but then there's a lot of stones that could be cleaned. And I still think we got kids who need community service at school and stuff, and it might be a Saturday somewhere next summer to get them to help.
I agree. We talked a lot about doing a volunteer day like that, where
Yeah.
we coordinate with the school. I think
I'll
that'd be
talk to
great, too.
Jared. I know that's just,
Yeah.
but looking 6 months out.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
think
don't know
that
if they ever
usually-
found a solution that I thought,
Not that they let me know, I
Oh,
did
okay,
ask
'cause I
them to
know
look
I-
for it,
I
but
forgot, I don't know, there were a couple gallons of it, very expensive, I got it in Henrietta, but never used it, and I know that, Troy took it someplace, but that takes off the lichens and things off the stone.
Yeah, that's the kind of,
Just
just,
supposedly, if you use it just prior to some rain, there's really not much work for you to do, other than put it on.
oh, nice, okay,
So,
yeah.
But it would be something to look into, at
Yeah.
least,
Yeah, we would definitely want to have those
Yeah.
materials on hand.
because that cleans off the lichens and stuff off.
well, and now that they tore the hedgerow off on West Avenue, you can see that cemetery.
Mhm.
And this time of year, the bases are black. I mean, I drive by that one all the time and I've noticed that. I mean, that black is pretty ugly. I'm sure we have that problem too.
Yeah, definitely. I think the history team, with having the brochure and Academy Cemetery map, they're looking to do an event there. So maybe we do look at doing something maybe prior to the event, see what their schedule is for that. And then schedule something with the kids that could come clean it, make it look really nice right before we do that event and
Which,
opening to
the
really
Academy?
polish it. Yeah.
Academy.
Yeah, I think the headstones in Academy could really benefit from
Yeah.
that, based on our
Yeah,
kind of our
there's a lot of
tour.
lichens and stuff on the stone.
Yeah, they just have so many trees, it's surrounded by trees, and there's a lot of nature down there, so.
I'd love to do that too. I think that sounds like fun. I would be in there with my scrub brush.
Hired.
Yeah, okay. My sister and I go and do that for our family stones every year, because you're right, between environmental pollution and, the lichens growing and just staining. It's nice to get in there and scrub them up.
Yes. I don't know, this seems like a pretty good year ahead of us.
It does, it definitely does. I know, and then I would say that we did talk a little bit about an event, like, last meeting, we threw a lot of different timing out there, whether it be Halloween or Veterans Day, different remembrance days to do an event that the cemetery committee planned. Not sure if that is still something we want to do and how it would look. Would it be a memorial? Would it be educational?
I think
Or would it be fun?
both, all three.
All of the above.
I would think that we want to stick to a remembrance committee. Be it Veterans Day or something like that.
Something, yeah, I already said that. I mentioned it to the events committee.
Yes.
And I think we have a meeting next week. I think they're willing to help someplace like that. About 5 years ago, I took a tour of the cemeteries in Oldwood. The Historical Society had a half-day tour. And it was really neat because, I don't know, I think they chose like 5 or 6 historical figures. And they had someone dressed up as that person.
Canandaigua did that.
And it was really neat, you stopped and you listened and the person told the story about his life and so on and so forth, like they had someone from World War I, World War II, and Ovid had 3 or 4 prominent individuals and they told their history and it was really neat, so.
That sounds really neat.
Yeah.
So Canada just recently did that?
The city,
City.
Who did that, Ray?
the city of Canandaigua.
The city, oh, okay, yeah,
I think it was at the one on,
Pioneer? That one,
Yes.
yeah, the one by Labelon. I call
back
it.
of the label.
Yeah.
oh, okay,
On West, yeah.
yeah,
On West Avenue.
there's a lot of history there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really just to determine what activity or what day and then what kind of event you want or something.
It is nice if you've got characters.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I
you
think
gotta
it is.
determine which ones you want to use too. There's quite a few.
Yeah. You would want the involvement of the history committee and stuff or whatever.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I wonder if maybe we look at doing something like that, maybe towards Veterans Day, later in the fall. Where it sounds like Academy might be kind of the focus in the spring with the opening in that ceremony, and maybe we look at doing, we have so much on our veterans. Do you think we could put something like that together with a couple of cemeteries? Do we have prominent figures in our pool of veterans that could be? I mean, obviously we've got Zadok, but I wonder if some of our other cemeteries, and that may be something we could pick Leaf's brain on. He seems to have really good information on that.
Yeah.
And maybe gear it more towards service or veterans in that sense, so that we're remembering and doing an educational.
Garrett, what do you say?
Gear it towards veterans, so that we're remembering veterans.
What's Garrett?
Gear it,
Focus.
focus on
Oh, I'm
veteran
sorry.
characters versus like just like town character. And now that we know Hun is a veteran, then
Yeah.
right, because Zadok Hun was service member as well.
Yeah,
We could talk about service to our community and honor our veterans as well as.
and say that we finally found out.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Oh, this-
I know, we'll spread them out. I do think that hits all of our line items, though. We had burial costs, which we discussed. education and public engagement, headstone preservation. We've got the agreement with Pine Bank and then a split rail fence. And that gives us $13,000 next year. In total. So I think, I think we hit all of our ideas and I think doing too much more would make it hard to manage.
Yeah.
So this
Right.
gives
I think
us.
This
focus.
is robust for a small group.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think
Yes.
with Academy, we'll definitely coordinate with the history team and
Right.
Wests,
You
which will
wanna,
expand our group and give us more hands. And I'm
Mhm.
sure if we schedule a cleanup for the headstones, like we
Mhm.
discussed prior to that, that they'll want to be involved in that as well.
Yep.
And I'm
well,
almost
there's a
positive.
few of us that are on both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, this guy, he's got multiple committees over here. Dennis is involved so many ways. You're on tree team, special events.
Deep down to the, is that all we have in the tree team budget? And
Arbor Day tree planting,
that's all they gave us?
and then, yeah, that's. yeah, and then the
$50,000
urban and
what do you
community
want?
Forest grant. So
50,000.
you have 500 for the tree, but whenever you see the grant there, and that's always contingent on the revenue. So you can't spend, you don't
Right.
get to spend it unless the grant is
Grant comes in,
awarded,
yeah.
right? So that would be a grant
I
for
didn't
the
see the final
inventory of
budget for the tree,
trees.
and I had asked for a lot more money.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if that maybe the ECB has a little bit too, or this is just 500 for that.
That's 15,000.
That's the grant.
Oh, okay.
But you
Uh,
have
Well,
to
what's the
get-
tree conservation?
Conservation, code update,
So,
ag committee.
and that's the ECB there, or?
That one is conservation, that's ag committee.
Oh,
And then ECB should be,
you know, we got
sorry, I'm
off topic,
scrolling
I'm sorry,
through.
but I,
ECB is 80-20, I think. There they are, trees, 800 in ECB for trees.
Little more.
We also though started the tree sponsor program this year.
right, right.
So I think that may have been where they were thinking,
could
gearing
be.
that.
And I
they-
think Sarah said something about the park department was gonna put more in for trees, and stuff, but that's,
Yeah, and I know like the Girl Scouts last year, right? They
they
donated.
donated it, they
So
donated it.
We
for
were
the-
still able to make that.
Well, the
work.
ECB and the Girl Scouts donated it for. All right, sorry about that.
All right.
Parks trees, 2,000 in parks. Okay. So they definitely have more robust. You could work
We've
with
got a
them.
lot for tree maintenance
And
and
then,
stuff.
yeah, and bags too, those watering bags.
Mhm.
So they've got some stuff built in there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sorry, off topic.
No, it's okay.
Sorry about that, I had to catch up on it.
We don't
Before I
have,
started spending money for the tree team.
I assume we don't have a historian report because he's not here.
No, we're missing leave.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Not sure. I know he had last week sent a note that they were having a little bit of car trouble. One of the Jeeps had a recall and the part that needed to be replaced couldn't be located, but the car wouldn't start without the
Really?
piece. So they were sharing a car.
Oh.
So he was having trouble, difficulty getting all of the different places.
Do we want to look at dates for 2023?
We certainly can for planning projects and events. Maybe we wait until we have a little more people here. Just to-
So we're gonna stick to the first Monday of the month. Unless people want a big switch, but
Yeah, so I'll do a doodle poll. I had made that note that I'll do that. I can do other days of the week. I know that definitely not Wednesday for Mary. For me personally, Tuesdays and Thursdays don't work, but that's, not, I don't want to impose that on the committee. But we could do like later in the day, Monday, I could ask if that would work. I don't know if you, I think you usually say you prefer mornings, don't you, a little earlier than like an 11 o'clock?
Me? Well, I don't,
You're
it does,
flexible?
my other,
Okay,
the tree team meets at 6 o'clock
okay.
on the second Monday of each month, so. And that's pretty convenient, an evening one, early evening, or, no, I'm pretty flexible now.
Okay.
I mean, I could do some
At
painting.
least not until after the next 3 months.
Do what?
Where are you going?
Next, you 10 weeks away.
Where am I going?
Yeah,
Clearwater.
We can
Okay.
go meet in Clearwater.
I'm good
I
with
think
that.
I
Let's
think
do
that's a good
that.
idea. There's money,
Yeah.
did you put money in the
We'll
budget for a
all
flight?
you all come.
Yeah, I mean, I, you know, I can meet with Zoom when I'm in Florida, and I
Yeah.
can take the computer out in the sunshine, the palm trees,
There
and
you go.
have a little
We're
background.
gonna shut your video off, Dennis.
Right?
You'll have the ocean rolling in the background.
Yeah.
right?
Rub it in.
Oh, too funny. I'll send it out. If you'd like, I'll send it out in
Yeah.
different dates and times and just see what everybody, see what sticks.
Okay, and for now, I would like to suggest we not meet in January unless something comes up because it's kind of a holiday. And it's January.
And you have 2 town board meetings in January,
Yes,
so
I do,
that
yeah.
gets busy and, yeah, I'm okay with that. Anybody else? Are you okay with that, Mary?
Yep.
Taking a month
Yep.
off and then
Yeah.
we'll reconvene?
Move
Yeah,
back
the
to-
tree team doesn't meet in January or
Yeah.
February, it's just a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah, exactly. There's just not
months,
too
and you
much
don't
to
really
do.
accomplish much. I
Yeah.
mean, you could wait till March and
That'd be
you're rolling
good.
again, because, you know, with the planning, what we're gonna
I'm
do, we're
happy
not gonna
with
know
that.
until March anyway, so you can almost wait till March.
Okay, March 6th,
Okay, all right, we'll go with March 6th
next meeting.
as our next meeting. And I'll send out times for Mondays. We'll see if 9 works okay with everybody or if we want to switch it up. And Mary, you said you have a 10 o'clock standing on Mondays?
I do.
Okay, so it would either be like 8, 9, 11, 1, kind of from there. Okay. I'll send it out. We'll see. what
Truthfully, I
changes.
prefer either 9 o'clock or wait until early evening, you know, instead of the
Yeah.
10, 11 o'clock really kills the day without getting anything done.
Okay,
Especially if I'm doing.
what about
something
like a 2 or 3
If I'm doing
o'clock? Is that
something-
too early? Maybe 3?
3, 4.
Okay, okay,
Of course.
okay. I'll send it out. We'll
But
see what
as far as
sticks.
the 10 or 11,
Okay,
What
I can
day
get into-
did we decide on?
Monday, March 6th,
but you're not sure what time, yet.
correct. We've got plenty of time to figure that one
you
out.
think so?
No, you know how it goes. I might
Uh-huh.
forget. All right, great.
Okay,
That sounds fantastic.
thank you.
Perfect.
Anything else, Mary?
No, I'm good on this end. Happy holidays, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Yeah,
so
you
much.
too.
You
Right.
too. Nice to
Thank
see
you.
Yeah,
Can't believe they're here.
I know.
I spent all day yesterday doing Christmas cards.
Oh,
I haven't done,
Now I gotta go to the post office.
they went up the rate, just recently, this